Hey fellow traders, did you know one of the biggest mistakes that traders make, beginner traders make, is quitting their job to day trade? Because you see all the money, you see all the excitement, and you see all these guys telling you that you can turn $100 into $100,000 in a week, and you get all excited and you go and quit your day job and you get into day trading, and then you find out that it's more difficult than you ever thought it was.
I quit my job, Lois.
You what?
Yeah, we're rich now. I don't need to be working. Oh, you should have been there, Lois. I told Angela what she could do with that job, just like I always fantasized. Angela, I just want to thank you for several extremely pleasurable years working for this corporation. Certain unexpected developments have created a situation where I am no longer in need of employment. I would be remiss, however, if I did not extend my gratitude to you for your unwavering fairness and belief in me, and there is a giant poo on your desk.
Here's the thing, guys. There are professional traders, guys out there that have been on the floor, that went off and started trading for themselves, and they're struggling to make an income every year. They're struggling to get through at the end of the year. This is not an easy task. You're going into a world where you can lose money and you can make money. You'll have good days and you'll have bad days. The problem with that is you've got to work out a balance at the end of the day. So for you to be successful, you've got to be effectively in the top 1% of all traders. If you want to make a living, then you can be in the top 30% of all traders. The other 70% will lose money. In fact, on average, 80% of traders lose money on a good day. And when you come into a time like we're in now, where the markets are struggling, where the markets are not quite sure where they want to be, it gets even more difficult. So with that said, guys, just remember, trading is risky. 80% of traders lose money, and if you don't like losing money, you shouldn't be trading. It's best not to trade if you don't like losing money. Next thing I'm going to tell you is go down and check out my secret blog. I give a free trade idea every day. It's just an idea. It's not trading advice. I don't give trading advice. And while you're there, pick up your free Forex book. Actually, it might even be in the description here, but on the website, it's in the index, it's on the side, it's a PDF and it's for you. So why do you quit your day job to start day trading? Because it seems like an easy life. Because it seems like the road to take for you. It looks like you're gonna have an easy life and all you're gonna do is day trade and just make loads of money. Look, if you've got a situation where you've got a large amount of cash to live on and you can survive on it for a long period of time, then you can get into something like this. But don't think it's a free ride. Don't think you're gonna do this and just go and sit on your butt. You are going to have to do a lot of work. In fact, you're gonna have to spend a lot of time every day working on your trading. It's not only about taking the trades. It's also about watching the trades. It's also about learning every day. Because even after 30 years of trading, I still learn something every single day. Let's talk about chart patterns. Now you can see that we've got a head and shoulders developing on this chart. Now I'm not going to go into all the other chart patterns, but I just noted that on this particular chart, this is the France 40. We had a beautiful support area here. Now we've gone through all the support areas in our past videos. You can have a look at support and resistance in our past videos, but I am going to go into it a little bit here so that you can understand it. So today we're just going to talk about this chart pattern. We're also going to talk about where this chart is going and what support and resistance is doing for us here. This is on the 4 hour, so I'm just going to leave it on the 4 hour so that you guys can clearly see what we've got here. This head and shoulders, there's a shoulder, there's a big head, there's another shoulder here. Now what happens with the head and shoulders? Because now you look at this and you see a support and you think, wow, it's gone into support, let's take a long trade, which is exactly what we're all thinking, because we've also got a nice trend going up here. Now if you go back onto the day chart and you have a look at this, you can actually see the trend, and it's bounced off this trend line perfectly, which is a trade that we took and we made a profit on, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely perfect. If you go back to the 4 hour chart here, you'll see head and shoulders what it is. If this continues on, if this shoulder was to go down below the support and start breaking support and making it into a resistance, this would be a perfect trade, because what you would have would it go down and come back and you'd come back out again and you'd have a perfect trade down. Why? Because of this head and shoulders. And if this head and shoulders was to take effect, you could measure the distance to the top of the head, to the bottom here, and take that distance down, and that's how far down it would travel. It would be an excellent trade. So what we did, we took a trade up at the higher level here, 81, sort of, I think it was 81.16, 81.15. We took a trade there. We went short, it came down. We profited, got out of the short, and we took a long trade. The long trade went up, and we took profit there early because of this head and shoulders. I don't trust this head and shoulders. Now, if you look at what we've got here, we've got a trend line coming down this way. I would actually prefer to bring it a bit closer. It's also be sort of creating another sort of pattern here as well. So it might get to about 80.50, 80.60, somewhere there, and then bounce off this area, staying in this and break out of this triangle. This is sort of, ascending triangle. If it breaks out of that, it's going to break down, and you're going to have the head and shoulder scenario, and it's going to be quite a big short. Now, with all the unrest going on around the world and that sort of thing, it's a great possibility. There's something new to learn. There's always something to pick up. There's always something changing in the market. If you pick up a system today that works for you, it might stop working in 2 years' time, and you might have to tweak it, or you might have to change the system, because things change in the market. The way the market moves change, and you have to look at that, and you have to move with the times. You can't stay. I mean, if I look at the way I traded 30 years ago, before all this and all the internet and all the fancy stuff, and I look at the way I trade now, it's completely different. It's like night and day. But it's always been about managing your risk. Or admittedly, I'll admit, I made the same mistakes you're all making. I thought it was all in the system, and I thought there was a magic system out there, and I thought it was going to be easy, and I thought I could just trade on a system and make money, and the system would definitely succeed. I made all those mistakes. And then I realized it's not about the system. Trading is a 50-50 game. 50% of the time when you take a trade, you could win. 50% of the time when you take a trade, you could lose. And that's as simple as the game gets. It's all about how much loss you take and becoming a good loser. So if you're taking a loss, that's part of the game. You're paying for your trade. Sometimes you need to take a loss, and that 50% of the time. But the trick is to take smaller losses and make bigger wins. So that's just my rant for the day. I hope that helps you. I hope it does something for you. Until next time, guys, cheers and bye.